Welcome to Easy Pie. This is part 3 of the TSI test from question number 11 to 15. Question number 11. If 2z plus 6 equals 24, then 3z plus 9 equal. So we have 2z plus 6 equal 24. This is the two-step questions. First, we have to solve for z. What is z equal to? Then we have to plug in the 3z plus 9 to find the answer. And also a tip from writing letter z, we should have like the dash at the middle, so that will be prevented to look like number 2 when we write fast. So we distribute the 2 inside the parenthesis. We have 2 times z is 2z. 2 times 6 is 12. That equals 24. Now we do opposite of what we see. So we want to isolate the 2z. We minus it. Same amount 12 both sides. Now we will have on the left hand side is 2z that equals 12. Now we do opposite of what we see is multiplications. We do divisions. Both sides same amount. The coefficient amount, right? So it's 2. So we have z on this side. This one cancel out. This one cancel out. Is 6. So this is only answer part 1. Now, the question asking what is 3z plus 9 equal to? We have to plug in. We have 3 times z is 6 plus 9. 3 times 6 is 18 plus 9, that is 27. And 27 is the correct answer. Question 12. Simplify for x squared y plus 6x to the power of 4 y z over 2y. So first of all, we have to looking at the questions, and we see that there is an addition at the top, and we see that 4, 6, and 2 is even number, and it's all divisible by 2. Okay, so let's do the common factor of 2y on the top first. You will see 4 is 2 times 2 times x squared, okay, times y. That plus 6 is 2 times 3 x to the power of 4 times y times z all over 2 times y. Now at the top, we have 2y in common, right? The factor in common 2y. So we can write that down one more time. We will have 2y in the front. The leftover, we copy it down. So the first term we have 2y out, we left with 2x squared. Now, plus the leftover for the second term is 3x4 and then times z, all over 2y. Now we see that we have the common top and bottom by 2y. We can cancel it. And then we have this one equal 2x squared plus 3x to the power 4z. Now we see that we have x in common, but how many factors of x? 2. 2 factors of x in common. Let's write that down one more time. So we have 2 times x plus 3 times x, right? Times x, that 4 factor of x. Make x to the power of 4. Okay, times z. Now we can highlight the common factors. We have 1x, 2x here. We also have 2x here, and then the leftovers, right? So let's take out the common factor. So we have this one equal x squared times 2 is the leftover for the first term right here. Add, just drop it down, 3x squared. Now x times x is x squared, okay, times z. At first, if we stop right here, that should be the right answer. But then we could not find any answer choice matching that. So we have to do more step. We take out the x squared. So the leftover inside is 2 plus 3x squared z. And D is the correct answer. Question 13. If square root of x over 6 equals square root of x minus 1 over 3, then what is x? So, first of all, we see that 6 and 3, 6 will be the least common denominators. So, we will multiply both sides by 6 to get rid of the fractions. So we have square root of x over 6 equals square root of x minus 1 over 3. And we find the least common denominator that equals 6. So we multiply both sides by 6. So we cancel that 6. On the left hand side we have square root of x. On the right hand side we have 6 divided by 3 is 2 square root of x minus 1. Now we square both sides to get rid of the square root. So we will have x on this side because square root and square cancel. Okay, be careful to distribute the power for each factor inside. So 2 squared is 4. Square root of x minus 1 squared is x minus 1. Now we distribute. To open the parenthesis, we have x equal 4x minus 4. Now subtract 4x both sides. This one gone. You have negative 3x that equal negative 4. Okay, negative 3x equal negative 4. Now you divide both sides by negative 3. So you isolate x that equal negative divided by negative is positive. So it becomes 4 over 3. So in this case, B is the correct answer. Question 14. Lori has a babysitting job. She can work up to 7 days per week. She charged $5 per hour. For the past week, her pay was $5, $15, $10, $20, $30. In the following week, she would like to babysit for an additional day. She babysat for 5 days in the previous week. How many hours does she need to work for that day to increase her average pay per week by 4? So first we have to break it down into smaller pieces. Okay, so we have 5 weeks. The previous week is she worked 5 days, and the amount she earned is right here. That's 5 numbers, 5 amount of money. So to find the average, see that the question asking increase the average pay per week by 4. So what just mean you have to find the average pay per week from previous week, then you add 4, you will get the payment for this week. So let's do that first. Okay, so step number 1, we find the average of previous week, and this one will be the total amount she earned from 5 day working is 5 plus 15 plus 10 plus 20 plus 30 all over 5. So you can divide 5 by 5 to get 1, and 15 divided by 5 you get 3. So you work with smaller number. Add 2, add 4, and then add 6. This one will be equal 16. Okay, $16. Now they said the previous week is $16 in average, but she wants to increase her average pay this week by $4. So step number 2, we find the average of this week. That is the average previous week at 4. Its increase means go up $4 at 4. And that will be equal to 16 at 4, that is $20. So now we have to calculate step number 3, how many extra hours additional day for an additional day, which is 6 days. So previous week she worked 5 days, but this week she worked 6 days because she have an additional day. Okay, so for this week is 6 day working. So to find the average of this week So she will have the total hours or total earning over 6. That will be equal $20. And the total earning amount is 5 plus 15 plus 10 plus 20 plus 30. That is her normal schedule. Okay, that's how much she earned. Now we add the extra, let's call it E, the extra money, and then divide by 6. That is $20. So we solve for this by add all of this up, right? So 5 and 15 is 20, and 10 is 30, and 20 is 50, and 30 is 80. So we will have 80 equal, we multiply both sides by 6. So we cancel this one. We have 80 equal 120. 80 plus E. So 5 and 15 and 10 and 20 and 30, this is $80 total. So now we subtract 80 both sides. This one gone. We have E is equal to $40. So she will earn, for that additional day, she will earn extra $40. But they don't asking for how many dollars did she earn, but they asking for how many hours does she need to work. So this is the money she will earn. So we have, here is the raise. She will have to work how many hours with $5 per hour to gain $40. Okay, so we can set up just like the before problem. Okay, so $5 is 1 hour. Now $40, how many hours you have to work? So 40 times 1 question mark is the diagonal cross. Multiply 40 times 1, divide by the rest, divide by 5. 40 times 1 is 40, divide by 5 is 8. So it is 8 hours. Cross, multiply, divide by the rest. Remember that the unit have to be the same columnly. Question 15. Jamie would like to build a tall circular fence around her garden. The garden space takes up 36 square feet. About approximately how much fencing material will she need to enclose her garden? So we have square feet. That is about, the square is about the area. Okay, so that means the garden is look like a circle, and then the area of that circle equal 36 square feet. And we know to find the area of a circle, that will be pi r square. Now, she have to find how much material to wrap the fence around that circle. So this is about the perimeters of the circle, or circumference of the circle, and it will be 2 pi r at the formula. So to solve for these questions, first we have to find what is the radius. Then second, we apply the formula of the circumference of a circle to find the final answer. So we have a hint that saying that pi r square, that is the area of the circle, is 36 square feet. Let's ignore the unit right now. Okay, focus on the numbers. So to solve for r, what we do is we divide both sides by pi. So you have r squared is equal 36 divided by pi. Now we want to find r by taking square root both sides, and you will have square root of 36 over pi, and r is equal 6 over square root of pi. This is step number 1, answer. Now step number 2, you will have to plug in. We got the circumference of the circle that equal 2 pi r, and then r is 2 pi, and r is 6 over square root of pi, and then this equal to 2 times 6 is 12. Now pi is equal to square root of pi times square root of pi. This is square root of pi square, and that's why equal pi. Okay, so instead of writing pi, I writing square root of pi. I have my pi divided by square root of pi, that is equal to square root of pi times square root of pi divided by square root of pi. Now you can cancel one of the factor square root of pi. You left with square root of pi. So the final answer is 12 square root of pi. A is the correct one. Thank you for participating in this series. and see you next time.